This is Varsha's Education Academy. In this session, we are going to see the subject of electromagnetic field theory. See, in this video, I am going to cover one entire unit, all basic important concepts, formulas, as well as some examples. So, this video is enough to cover the coordinate system as well as some problems based on dot product, cross product of a scalar and a vector. Right? Now we will see the concept in this Cartesian coordinate system. See, there were three types of coordinate system: Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system, and a spherical coordinate system. See, these are the coordinates. Cartesian coordinate system is x, y, z, right? See here, the example for Cartesian coordinate system, we can assume it as cube. X, y and z axis. See, this is said to be x axis, this is said to be y axis, and this is our z axis. See, these three values may be a constant values. This Cartesian coordinate system is a very simple coordinate system. It is just a representation of any cube or linear structures, right? Then cylindrical coordinate system. In the name itself, we know it is a cylinder. Cylindrical coordinate system, and the coordinates are rho, phi and z. Rho, phi and z. Rho is nothing but radius. Rho is nothing but radius. This phi represents angle. This z represents height. Right? This rho represents radius of the cylinder. This one is angle. See, let us assume this is a cylinder. Right? Let us assume this is a cylinder and this is our radius. This is said to be our radius. See here, in the cylinder, if the angle, this angle represents, it is varying between 0 to 2 pi. 0 to 2 pi in the sense, it is varying in the horizontal manner. See here, it is varying like this. This phi is the angle in the horizontal direction. Right? It is the azimuth plane ulla angle. While seeing the subjects of antenna and wave propagation, I will explain you in detail about the azimuth plane and elevation plane. See, this phi represents the angle of the azimuth plane. Have you understood? See, this is the angle across this horizontal plane. Right? This likewise, this rotation, horizontal rotation. Right? Horizontal rotation across this cylinder. This angle represents the angle of this horizontal rotation. This is the height of the cylinder. This is said to be Z or height of the cylinder. This one is R, and this angle, this is said to be angle phi. Okay. These are all about cylindrical coordinate system, and these are the formulas of cylindrical coordinate system. See, rho is equal to root of x squared plus y squared. Most probably this Cartesian coordinates, that is x, y, z, should be a constant values. Generally this rho radius will vary from 0 to infinity. So this rho is equal to root of this x squared plus y squared. See, these are the formulas to obtain the cylindrical coordinate system from a Cartesian coordinate system. So rho is equal to root of x squared plus y squared. Angle phi is equal to tan inverse of x, tan inverse of this x. Then z is equal to z. This z is equal to this z, right? So these are the relationship between the cylindrical coordinates and the Cartesian coordinate system. See, remember, these ranges are all important. Generally the radius of cylinder varies between 0 to infinity. The angle, that is the horizontal angle, varies between 0 to 2 pi. ஏன் the 0 to 2 pi சொல்றோம் புரியுதா? It varies up to 360 degree. So horizontal directionல ஒரு angle rotation இருக்கும்போது அது வந்து varies between 0 to 360. Right? Then z, this height varies from 0 to infinity. Then our next coordinate system is spherical coordinate system. Spherical coordinate system, we are having r, theta and phi. R, theta and phi. Let us assume one sphere. Let us assume one sphere. See, consider this a sphere. In the sphere we are having radius, right? That radius is said to be r. That radius is said to be r. And our next one is theta. Theta is the elevated plane rotation. Rotation in the elevated plane. Elevated plane in the sense, see the rotation in the vertical direction. See, it will rotate like this. It will rotate in the perpendicular direction. Have you understood how it is rotating? See, it will rotate like this. This is said to be the vertical rotation. In phi direction in the sense, the third coordinate is phi. Already we have seen the phi rotation in cylinder, right? The same over here. It will vary like this. This is the phi rotation. Rotation in the horizontal direction. Right? So, now this is the formulas to derive the spherical coordinate system from the Cartesian coordinate system. So, r is the first component, that is radius, is equal to root of x squared plus y squared plus z squared. And it is varying between 0 to infinity. Next component is theta, that is vertical rotation. So vertical rotation in the sense this kind of rotation. Have you understood? This kind of rotation. Horizontal rotation in the sense this kind of rotation. Have you understood? Okay. Theta is equal to cos inverse of z by root of x squared plus y squared plus z squared. And this theta varies between 0 to pi. This pi is tan inverse of y by x. And it varies between 0 to 2 pi. Horizontal direction, it will vary from 0 to 2 pi, 0 to 360 degree. Right? Now we will see some examples. See, at last, I'll upload some practice questions as well as some important quiz based questions that are all 1 marks, but here I am covering the very important examples problem only based on competitive exam point of view. Right? But for your semester exams, there will be some lengthier problems they may ask. But for competitive exam, surely it may be for 1 mark or 2 marks. So I am covering only in that point of view. Please remember this concept, then it will be easy for you to solve that kind of problems. See the first example. If a vector A is equal to ax plus 2ay plus 3az, find its magnitude and direction. Find its magnitude and direction. See, first step we are going to find the magnitude. See here, so magnitude eppadi kandupidikano? How can we find the magnitude of any vectors given? So magnitude is equal to root of a, that is first term, coefficient of first term plus coefficient of second term squared plus coefficient of the third term squared, right? See here, 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared. So which gives us the value of square root of 1 plus 4 plus 9, which is equal to root 14, that is 3.7432. Right? Okay, now we will find the direction. See, this is the formula for finding the direction of any vector. So direction in the sense a vector, the given vector divided by its magnitude. So the given vector by its magnitude. So this is said to be the direction of a vector. See, you can assume the value, that is 1 by 3, 2 by 3.74, 3 by 3.74. Likewise, already in some videos you are asked about some simplification based questions. How can we find the answer without using calculators? Likewise, you people asked me. See, only based on this decimal values. Mostly they won't ask this kind of decimal values. If it is so, they will give other options as different options. It is easy for you on seeing the question itself, you can find the answer. Right? If you know the concept, on seeing the question itself, with no need to solve, most probably they won't give that kind of problems like this decimal values and all. Okay, now we will see our second problem. If A is equal to ax plus ay plus 2az, B is equal to 2ax plus ay plus az. Find A dot B. Right? A dot B is equal to, by multiplying these two terms, ax into bx plus ay. See here carefully. So coefficient of ax and coefficient of ax should be multiplied. Coefficient of ay and coefficient of ay should be multiplied. Coefficient of az and coefficient of az to be multiplied. So 2 plus 1, after that we have to add all the values. So 2 plus 1 plus 2, which gives us the value of 5. So A dot B is equal to 5. Likewise, they may ask A dot B, A cross B, curl of A vector, dot product of A vector. Likewise, this kind of small questions only they may ask from this topic based on vector analysis. See the third question. A is equal to 2ax plus ay plus 2az. B is equal to ax plus 2ay plus az. Find A cross B, right? A cross B, in the sense we have to make one determinant, right? Ax, ay and az as our first row. Then substitute the coefficients of the first vector in the second row. So 2, 1 and 2. These are the coefficients of the first vector. Then coefficients of the second vector should be in the third row. That is 1, 2 and 1. Right? So Ax is Ax. After that we have to take determinant. So Ax is equal to Ax into 1 minus of 2. 1 minus of 2 into 2, that is 4. 1 minus 4 plus ay into 2 minus 2. So while finding this ay into, you have to delete these two characters and you have to find the multiplication, cross multiplication. This 2 into 1 minus of 2 into 1. So 2 minus 2. Then while calculating az, you have to close these values. So 2 into 2, 4 minus of 1. So 4 minus 1. So A cross B vector is equal to minus 3ax plus 3 into az. So this is the cross product of these two vectors. So dot product we have covered, cross product we have covered, magnitude and direction of a vector we have covered. See, only major important problems alone I am covering. Please listen carefully and please make a note of it while preparing for the exams. Before the exam, while going before the exam, please go through this formula once. It is very simple. It is very simple and scoring area for any competitive exams. Problem number 4. In the Cartesian coordinates, a point is described by 1, 2, 4. What are orthogonal planes whose intersection give this point? See, orthogonal planes இருக்குன்னு சொல்லிருக்காங்க. அது intersect ஆகிறது இந்த pointலன்னு சொல்லிருக்காங்க. See, the orthogonal planes are intersecting at this point. Right? So, planes intersect at the point. This is the given question. So, x value will be 1. Y value will be 2. Z value will be 4. That is the same thing they have given. But the point only they have given. From that point we are finding the Cartesian coordinates. What are the Cartesian coordinates? In the beginning of this video itself we have introduced the coordinates of 3 types of system, right? So Cartesian coordinates in the sense x, y and z. So 1, 2 and 4. First one is in x-axis, second one will be from y-axis and third one is from z-axis, right? So this intersection point will give us the value for x, y and z. See, this question is somewhat different from our previous question. Represent point P in terms of unit vector. See, in last problem they have asked about the coordinates alone. In this problem they are asking the unit vector. So they have given the point, we have to find the unit vector. So coordinates are x is equal to 0.5, y is equal to 0.2 and z is equal to 0.1. With this value we just form the unit vector equation. That is 0.5 ax vector, 0.2 ay vector, 0.1 az vector. This is said to be the unit vector for the given point P 0.5, 0.2 and 0.1, right? See, these are all very simple problems but very important problems. To solve this problem, you should know about what is meant by unit vector. So, unit vector format eppadi irukondradhu therinjadha you can able to write in your exams, right? Okay, now we will see problem number. See the problem number 6. A point in a Cartesian coordinate is given by P 1, 2, 3. Express it in cylindrical coordinates. See, Cartesian coordinates, already in the starting of our session itself we can see what are the coordinates in the Cartesian coordinate system? X, Y and Z. So first term is X and second one is Y and third one is Z. So X is equal to 1, Y is equal to 2 and Z is equal to 3. See, Z is equal to 3. Already we have compared the Cartesian and the relationship between the Cartesian and cylindrical coordinate system. Already we have seen in the starting of our session, right? So what are the cylindrical coordinate system? Rho, phi and Z, right? So rho is nothing but the radius of the cylinder. Phi is the angle of rotation of the cylinder and Z is the height of the cylinder. See, here also we are having the same Z. So these two things are same. So only these two values we are going to find, that is radius and the angle. So what is the formula for finding the radius of a cylinder? So it is root of x squared plus y squared. It is root of x squared plus y squared. So root of 1 squared plus 2 squared, we are getting the value as root 5, that is 2.236. See, this some constant values, you should memorize those values. Root 1, root 2, root 3, root 4, root 5. These are all very important values. Root 4 already we know, but root 2, root 3 and root 5. These are all three important values you should remember, right? Then angle of rotation of a cylinder, that is phi, which is equal to tan inverse of y by x. So y value is 2, x value is 1. So tan inverse of 2, which gives us the angle of 63.43 degree. Surely they will mention the angle, else they won't ask this kind of question, right? We can't able to find the tan inverse of 2 on our own. So 63.43 degree is the angle of rotation of a cylinder. And Z is equal to 3. This is already given in the question from the Cartesian coordinate system. So this is said to be the height of the cylinder, right? These are the cylindrical coordinates. 2.236, 63.43 degree, 3. Rho, phi and Z. Now we will see problem number 7. See the question number 7. If a point in a Cartesian coordinate is given by P 1, 2, 3, express it in spherical coordinate system. See, in our last problem we have seen Cartesian. We have found out the cylindrical coordinate system from the Cartesian coordinate system. In this problem they are asking spherical coordinate system from the Cartesian coordinate system. In the starting of a session itself we have seen the formulas for this spherical coordinates. First, what are the spherical coordinates? That is r, theta and phi, right? Here first we will find the value of r alone. They are asking the, here we are going to find the only radius of a sphere alone, right? But we know the formula to find phi and theta. What is the formula for finding the radius of sphere? That is root of x squared plus y squared plus z squared. This first one is x, y is z, right? So 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared, which gives us the value of root 14. That is, the radius of sphere is equal to 3.741. Radius of cylinder is equal to 3.741. See the next problem. Problem number 8. A scalar function v is given by v is equal to x, y, z squared. X, y and z squared. Find the gradient of v. So grade v அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு factor கேட்பாங்க. So grade v is represented by del v. So grade v is equal to del v. See here, this is the formula to find the gradient of v. Dou v by dou x into ax, dou v by dou y into ay, dou v by dou z into az. So now dou by dou x அப்படினா எப்படி கண்டுபிடிக்கணும்? How can we differentiate this factor dou by dou x in this sense? We have to differentiate only with respect to x. The remaining terms won't be differentiated and it is as it is in the answer. See here, dou by dou x of xy z squared in the sense this x alone should be differentiated. So y z squared ax. Then next, here y alone differentiated, so x z squared. Here z alone differentiated, so xy. So this z squared can be differentiated and it is obtained as 2z into az. This is our gradient of v vector. This is our gradient of v vector. See the problem number 9. If a vector b is equal to 4xy squared ax plus 2y cubed ay plus xyz az plus xyz az, find the divergence of b. See, divergence of b in the sense del dot b. So dou by dou x of bx plus dou by dou y of by, dou by dou z of bz, right? So this is our expression. This is our bx, this is our by, and this is our bz. So coefficient of ax is bx, coefficient of ay is by, coefficient of az is bz. So I just substituted those values and we are getting our expression as 4y squared plus 6y squared plus xy. So 4y squared, x oda differentiate பண்ணதுனால it will become 1. So 3 into 2 is 6. So y squared. This is the differential term of this 2y cube. Then xyz is differentiated and we got the value as xy. So 4y squared plus 6y squared get added together to form the value of 10y squared plus xy. 10y squared plus xy is the divergence of the given b vector. See our next problem, problem number 10. If the scalar potential is given by b is equal to x squared minus y squared minus z squared volt. Find the Laplacian of v. Find the Laplacian of v. So Laplacian அப்படினா என்னதுன்னா del squared v. See, gradient in the sense del v. So Laplacian in the sense del squared v. So del squared v in the sense dou squared by dou x squared, dou squared by dou y squared plus dou squared by dou z squared in for this v value, right? So the v here differentiating with respect to dx dou x squared, differentiating with respect to dou y squared, differentiating with respect to dou z squared, right? Okay, now after differentiating with respect x squared with respect to x squared, we will get the value as 2. First differentiation it will become 2x. Second differentiation it will become 2 alone. Minus 2y, and then next differentiation it will become minus 2. First differentiation it will become minus 2z. Second differentiation it will become minus 2, right? So plus 2 and minus 2 get cancelled. So the Laplacian of v vector, final answer will be minus 2, right? Now we will see the next problem, problem number 11. So if a power gain is given as 22, find the value in decibel. ஒரு gain, ஒரு power gain decibel convert பண்ணோம்னா we just have to find the logarithm. So 10 log 10 of 22. 13.424 decibel. 13.424 decibel. Right? Now we will see. Now we are going to the next problem. Power gain in the communication system is 16. What it is in Nepers? See, Nepers in the sense we have to find the square root. Log e square root of AP. Log e square root of this power gain. So log e of 4, that is 1.386 Nepper. Okay. So this is the difference between the Nepers and the decibel. In the decibel we used to calculate 10 log 10. Here it is log e, right? Log e, we are using it in Nepers. And also we need to find the square root for the gain value. So please remember the formula. If they asked, you have to apply, right? See the problem number 13. If the current gain is 34, what is its value in Nepers? See, generally in our last problem we have seen the power gain is given and they are asking us to find the value in Nepers. In the sense we have found out the square root. But here the current gain is directly given. What is the formula for power? So I squared R, right? Here the I value is given directly. So we just substituted it as log E current gain. There, substituting power gain in the sense I squared into R, we can take that R value as 1. So I squared, so we are taking the square root there. Right? So log E of current gain. This is said to be the Nepers value. Right? See the next problem, problem number 14. If a complex number A is given by 2 plus J4, find its magnitude and phase. So magnitude eppadi kandupidikanum? In our first problem itself we have seen. So it is a square root of 2 squared plus 4 squared. Real part squared plus imaginary part squared. Real part here is 2. Imaginary part is coefficient of this J or I. It is a complex number, right? So it is a square root of real part squared plus imaginary part squared. So 2 squared plus 4 squared, which is equal to square root of 4 plus 16, that is root 20. So magnitude of A vector is said to be 4.472. Then angle or phase angle of this complex number. So it is tan inverse of imaginary part by real part. Here the imaginary part is 4 and the real part is 2. So tan inverse of 4 by 2. So tan inverse of 2, that is 63.43 degree. See, this value is coming always. So please remember this value, tan inverse of 2, that is 63.43 degree. So these are all about the importance regarding the vectors, scalars as well as the mathematical analysis required for this Cartesian, spherical and cylindrical coordinate system. See, this is the first topic, first unit in the electromagnetic field theory. So only I have covered this topic. See, in this entire video we have covered all the topics regarding the unit number 1, that is vectors and scalars of a communication system of any given values, right? We have to find divergence, curl as well as gradient, dot product, cross product, Laplacian operator, power gain in decibel, power gain in Nepers, then complex number, magnitude, direction, phase, then coordinate system, Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system and spherical coordinate system, then Cartesian to spherical, Cartesian to cylindrical, spherical to cylindrical. These are all the important concepts we have covered. See, in this session I have covered only the simple problems, but all are very important problems. Only this kind of problems surely they may ask from this unit for any competitive exam. This kind of problem only suitable for 1 mark or 2 marks. That is easy to ask in competitive exams, right? In our exam point of view, semester exam point of view, there may be some lengthy problems. But here, that is not our main issue over here. Right? Okay, if you like this video, do subscribe my channel. If you are having doubts, please mention it in the comment box. See, one more thing, I have posted some questions in the community tab regarding this unit. Please go through once and try to answer all the questions in that practice quiz. That is also very important. I just want to know about the subscribers or viewers level of knowledge. Then only I can proceed with the next sessions, right? So only I am asking you people to respond my questions. Please try to solve these questions. If not, please mention it in the comment box. I will solve it in our upcoming videos. Right? Thank you all. Thank you for watching this video.